What's up, guys? Sean here, back with another video. Just sitting out here on Pop's front porch playing his guitar. Got a cool video coming up I'm going to tell you about, and I got some little things that we need to discuss. But before we get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about my dad and who he was. So let's get into that right now. Now don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I'm dumb, I guess, like any foolish man, and my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Well, I recall the first time that I flirted with you, dear, and I jokingly said, "Come and be my bride." Now that time has turned the pages, it's the sweetest joke on earth, 'cause I have you near forever by my side. Now don't be angry with me, darling, if I fail to understand all your little whims and wishes all the time. Just remember that I'm dumb, I guess, like any foolish man, and my head stays sort of foggy 'cause you're mine. Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to talk to you, like I said, about an upcoming adventure I've got to go on. But before we really get into that, I want to tell you a little bit about my dad and why that relates to this upcoming adventure. So, my dad was born in 1938. It was a whole different kind of life when he grew up, you know. He grew up around the river, on the Suwannee River in Brantford, Florida. He grew up there. He grew up around Cherry Lake. But Pop's, early life, it centered around being around the river and things like that. And, Pop never lost his love for the river. And Pop grew up. He went to, he played baseball in high school. He was very good. He was a pitcher. He was actually drafted his 11th grade year to play baseball for the Chicago White Sox, but he decided not to go because he wanted to graduate high school. He wanted to finish school. So Pop went on to finish high school. He graduated, and then he went into the Navy. Now, after he came out of the Navy, he met my mother, and they ended up getting married, and they had a bunch of kids. So, I'm the youngest of 8 kids, and Pop always had an adventurous spirit, but Pop basically spent his whole life working to take care of other people. He spent his whole life working to take care of his family. And as my mother would say, In later years, Pop couldn't retire because he had to keep her in the lifestyle she had become accustomed to. So, Pop didn't have a prayer. All joking aside, later on, in life, Mom and Pop, before my mother passed away, they did a good bit of traveling and taking little adventures with, themselves. But after Mom passed away, Dad really sunk himself into work. And I think that was his coping mechanism for that. But as he got older, he became sick. Pop had cancer. Actually, he fought cancer for a long time. Roughly 16 years he battled cancer that they told him would kill him within a year. And that's just how Pop was. Pop had that fighting spirit. He didn't give up. If Pop decided he wanted to do something, you better just plan on him doing it, because he wasn't going to let anything get in his way. So that was Pop for you. But later on in life, I'm the youngest son, and I was a surprise. My sister Carolyn is 11 years older than me, so you can imagine that when I came along, my parents thought they were through. So I grew up with great brothers and sisters, but then I also grew up almost like an only child, because when I got a little bit older, my brothers and sisters were already out of the house, and so I grew up having, Mom and Dad to myself a lot. And so Dad became a scoutmaster when I was young, and we did a lot of camping and stuff in the Boy Scouts and things like that, and Pop taught me a lot about the outdoors. And Pop used to always tell us, if someone else can do something, you can do it too. It's just a matter of figuring it out. It's a matter of gaining the knowledge. And so Pop always gave us the confidence to try to do something if you wanted to do it. And so when I set out to do this YouTube channel on the camping and stuff like that, Pop supported me. He didn't necessarily like me going out and doing it alone. Pop worried about me going out and getting hurt or, something happening. But that was just Pop. Pop loved me, and he didn't want me to get hurt. But he wholeheartedly supported what I was trying to do, and the idea behind why I was trying to do it. Pop had no desire to ever be on social media. He had no desire to ever be on a video or anything like that. But then later on, when Pop got sick, and me and my brother Lester took him on his last camping trip, which we didn't know would be his last camping trip at the time, but he was getting pretty sick. He told me it was okay if I videoed it, and I did video it, and I thank the Lord that we got that footage. And if you want, you can go back. It's in my videos. It's actually called Adventures on Little River. So if you want to go back and watch that video, it's got video of Pop in it. I'm rambling a little bit here, so let me just try to come around to the point. Pop had an adventurous spirit. Me and Pop went on a lot of adventures together, especially later in life. Pop decided he wanted to go to Key West. We went to Key West. He decided he wanted to ride a riverboat in New Orleans. We went to New Orleans, and we rode the riverboat. Pop loved being on the river. Pop loved fishing. One of the things that Pop always wanted to do was build a raft. And he wanted to raft down the Suwannee River out to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, like I said, Pop was a family man. Pop didn't
he never did that kind of thing for himself. He wanted to do it. He had the desire to do it. He had the desire so much so that I remember when I was a kid, Dad actually built a houseboat. He had the thing framed in. He had barrels under it, and but that's as far as it went. He never got a chance to get it finished and get it in the water. And you know, I wish for him, for his sake, that he'd been able to finish that project. But you know, Pop always put, you know, other people and things ahead of himself. So all that is leading up to our next adventure. Pop loved adventure books. He's the one that got me into reading cowboy books and things like that. One of Pop's favorite books was Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Pop loved the idea of riding the river on a raft. So what I've decided to do, and I've been wanting to do this for several years now, even before I started the channel. I really wanted to do it last year, before, you know, Pop passed. I had wanted to get this thing done so he could watch the video, and I just never got it done, and I regret that. But at the end of March this year, if all goes to plan, I plan at the end of March, I'm going to build a raft. I'm going to put it in at the Suwannee River in Brantford, where Pop would have put it in at. Because that's where he grew up. That's where, you know, he was born and raised up there. So that's where he would have put in at. So I'm going to put the raft in at the boat ramp on the Suwannee River in Brantford. And I'm going to float that raft. If all goes correctly, I'm going to float that raft down to the town of Suwannee, right there on the Gulf of Mexico. And so it's going to be a long process to get down there, because I'm not going to be in a kayak where I can paddle away. I'm going to kind of be at the mercy of the river. Now I am looking for oars. So if you have an idea or a place where I can get oars, or, you know, just any idea on that, I would appreciate if you put it in the comments, because I'm still working all the logistics out and how to gather up all the materials. But so I'm going to have oars just so I can kind of steer it, so I can get myself up to the bank at night. Now, as you've seen in the pictures, the sketch that I drew, it will have a tent, a canvas tent built on board, where I'll be able to sleep in there. So I won't be getting out of the, off the raft very much. I'm going to try to stay on the raft as much as possible, and float that thing down the river. So this will be a tribute trip to Pop. This will be something that I'm going to do for him, in remembrance of him. A friend of mine gave me 4 brand new plastic barrels to go up under it. So that's nice. I've already got that out of the way. A team that I'm building that's helping me gather up all the logistics, and I've got a friend who works on the river, and he's getting me maps and links of maps that I can use to get up and down the river. I've spoken to a game warden already and figured out what legally I need to have on my raft, so I don't have any problems there. But as I've talked to people about my plan to do this, I've had several people tell me or ask me, what can I do to help you? How can I help you? And I know there's people that are going to want to help in one way or another. I'm not going to ask for any help. But if you want to leave me a comment below, if you have anything that you would like to do to help, whether it's, hey, I've got a piece of canvas, or hey, I've got some 2x6s, or I had a lady give me a bunch of bamboo, or told me that I could get a bunch of bamboo for the raft. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it just yet, but it's things like that. I mean, people are so, when I talk to them about this, they're so kind of excited and want to help. It cracked me up, the game warden, when I was discussing it with him. He told me, part of me thinks you're crazy, but the other part of me wishes I could take the time off and go with you. That, to me, that is part of why I'm doing it. I want people to see that, you can do the things that you have in your mind. If you have something that you want to do, don't work your life away and miss them. If there's something that you want to do your best to make time to be able to fulfill that. There's nothing wrong with being a family man, and there's nothing wrong with taking care of your family. That was ultimately the most important thing in the world for Pop. But I also think that we miss so much of life by just keeping our head down and working and chasing that dollar. I know that dollar is very important, but sometimes I don't believe it's the most important thing in the world. So that's the goal, is to by the end of March, I'm going to have my raft built. I'm going to have all my plans made. I'm going to have all the logistics and all the things placed out to be able to make it go as smoothly and as efficiently as possible. But this is just a lead-up video. I'm going to do a few more videos before we get out on the water. So I'm going to do a video and take you through how we're going to build the raft. And just kind of, I want to take you along with me as I do it. And then as I do the rafting down the river, I will break that up probably into several episodes, so I can take you guys along with me there. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. If you know anybody that likes this kind of videos, please share these videos with them. Our whole idea for the channel is to sort of inspire other people to get back out into nature and enjoy nature. Get away from the keyboard, get away from the television, go back outside. Whether you camp or hike or bike or whatever it is, or paddle, swim, whatever it is you do, our goal is to just inspire you to get back out there and do it. So kind of that's a little bit of what this video is about. What this trip will be about is fulfilling a dream that Pop had, and maybe inspiring you guys to go after a dream that you have too. So in the comments below, let me know, what is one thing that you wish that you could do, or something that you want to do or plan to do, that would be, sort of an adventure that you kind of would like to do, but you've always kind of put off. And then after this video's over, just sit down and do one thing to move yourself towards that. Whether it's to write it down, post it on the refrigerator, get on Amazon and buy something that goes towards that. Just after this video, sit down and do one thing that will help you get towards doing that adventure. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate you guys sitting here and listening to me ramble. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave me a comment below, please, and share this video with your friends, like I said. But thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.